Hello there. Happy Friday. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to me playing Cities Skylines. And I think this is going to be the final stream for this particular map of this particular game that we've been playing for months now anyway. I've really enjoyed getting the game all the way up to the top level in terms of all of the industries DLC, the campus DLC, the park DLC, all the way up to 5 stars for every possible combination or option. We've also implemented a new airport DLC expansion as well. So yeah, it's been quite a bit of fun developing the new with the old and the existing parts of the game. And yeah, I think for some of this stream we're going to do a little bit of a tour of some of the bits and bobs and some of the interesting parts of the city, have a little look around, maybe tweak a few things, maybe check out how the traffic is doing. But essentially we are wrapping it up for this particular map, unless we can find anything particularly pressing that we want to change or add. So yeah, why don't we get into it, turn off the view here for the cinematic camera and have a little look around. So it might be that the city continues to grow in the background because we also added some monuments for expanding the land value, which I think was the Eden project, and we also put down the castle of Lord Chirpwick. We have an academic year report. What else have we placed over here? Yeah, this area has become rather a haphazard snaking section of weirdly placed unique buildings, but I think it's not too bad. We could always fiddle with it a little bit, but I think as a tourist destination, this is certainly somewhere that is going to draw a lot of visitors, given all the attractions that we have over here. I'm just thinking that I'm pretty sure we don't have any services over here, so why don't we try and take care of that. Just to finish off this area, I think I will splash out and place a couple of large services. I mean, we've got the money for it. It's just about deciding where to place them, isn't it? So I think in here we've got a nice free road section. So why don't we place the fire station, a police headquarters right next to each other. Do we need any healthcare over here? Probably not, except maybe a bit of death care if we hide that around the back, maybe around the back of the fire station. Okay, yeah, I think this area looks quite nice in the evening. We've got an interesting glow going on the around the horizon. But whilst we're here at night time, why don't we start to explore a little bit. I did not realise that this particular observatory gave off so much light, which is quite strange, because you need darkness for your observatory to be any good. So it's kind of counterintuitive that it's lit up like a Christmas tree. So I think they were missing a trick there. But if we keep it on the nighttime view for for a little while, why don't we make our way over towards our city skyline. We'll take a trip around the hotel resort as well while we're here. So this area includes quite a few unique items as well, with a casino over here to the right, and the hotel resort, or this whole section that we created is quite a nice special spot to serve as a souped up hotel destination just across the river from the city centre. So the city centre is started off as just a narrow strip either side of this highway. So you can see, if I zoom in here, it used to be that just this chunk to the left and to the right was the start of the city centre, but it just kept growing and growing. So if I move further to the right, you'll see we've got quite a few sections of high-rise over here in the middle ground, whereas the foreground became an interesting old-looking town centre. You can see we've got a few special buildings there: the City Hall, the Cathedral, the theatre. And if we start to carry on the tour, continuing down this side of the city centre, you'll see the campus by the river down here, which isn't very well lit up, but you can see the buildings for the campus. And then we come to a bit more built up residential area flanked by some more variable heights and variable shapes in front of us in the foreground, and a nice statement piece here in the middle of this big roundabout. And then you get to this section of very regular apartment blocks, and here is the stadium. And then you start to get to the special buildings section around the city centre. So if I zoom in here, you'll see some of the interesting special buildings. I'll swing it around this way as well. We've got the court hall, some skyscrapers, and yeah, just over this side you'll see another section where we've included some special buildings. You see off in the distance we've got the Gherkin, we've got the Cathedral, the really tall tower, high interest tower, transport tower, and an opera house, and a Grand Central Terminal Museum, and the clock tower, and some plazas, and this nice statue out the front helps frame this particular piece. And there's a few other special buildings as well. We've got a mall and an academic library nearby. And then further over to this side, you'll see it's a bit more of a jumbled mix of high-rise and low-rise buildings, especially over here when we went really bulked up the number of high-rises in these two sections to the left and to the right. We have a beachside tourist area, lots of hotels here with a mix of nightlife as well by the beach. And then if we come over here, you'll see all the traffic being created by the cars and trucks going in and out of this industrial zone. It's interesting actually that the cars are having more trouble getting out of this area than they are coming in. But they seem to be feeding out okay. It's just that they are getting slowed down, I guess. Yeah, I think they are moving okay. And then we have nighttime view of the very weird looking space elevator, which just zaps people out of the ether into our city. They seem to just come out from outer space. Then we have our massive airport, which has lots of blinking lights, and at night, actually I thought it might be more lit up at night, but I suppose that's all you need. And then we have, just to finish off this section, a 5-star amusement park with some rock gardens and a lake, and the sun is starting to come up. We also placed down a few other special buildings in this area. The Central Park, the festival area is over here. We have a harbour, and yeah, this is an interesting time of the day, isn't it? If we let this slowly fade in, you'll see the city centre gets really brightly lit up. So yeah, that's interesting, because now the sun is getting higher, the reflection is still strong, but I assume the reflection will die down a bit. It's like all those tall buildings reflecting a lot of sunlight back. So here in front of us you can see our Woodland Industry, which has been a good source of income for us, but also a big source of traffic, because it's quite close to the city centre. But I remember we had lots of issues with these two roundabouts that you can see here, but they seem to work pretty well now these days. They're not congested anyway. This one may be a little congested, but yeah, I think you can see it all works pretty well. We added extra lanes, slip lanes on these. And then we start to get into a large area that's all low density, and I can see lots of them still upgrading in the background. Some of them apparently are complaining from lack of educated workers, so it looks like to me we might need to place a few more schools if we were to make people properly happy. Yeah, the high schools are okay. I think it's maybe just elementary schools that we're a bit short on. So that you can see that lots of the city is well covered, but we placed a lot of schools already at the end of the last stream for this area. So I think it's really just a matter of time to get a few more people trained up and sending them off to the next level of school. So yeah, I don't mind that too much. And over this side of the hill you can see the 5-star oil industry, and it has a lot of factories associated right beside it as well. We've got a clothing factory. What else have we got over here? We've got plastics and a printing press. What's that one? Oh, and a toy factory. All in this area that seem to be doing well, because they all have yeah, they're all doing well with materials they need, which is good. And then down here we've got even more. So what do we have here? We've got a sneaker factory, soft paper factory, and a food factory, with lots more other buildings to feed into them the goods that they need. Yeah, and you can see we're even struggling to sell all of these quickly enough, so we might need to place another warehouse just to store the factory products, perhaps. But that seems to be going down okay, so I think that'll be alright. And then we had the last of our unique factories, which was the shipyard that we placed. And you can see that, yeah, that's actually doing fairly well. gets deliveries reasonably regularly. If we continue down the front here, we've got this harbour or marina area, you could call it. And yeah, there was a lot of money spent making this area high end in terms of land value. If I turn this view on, it's going to go bright green, which it does. And yeah, you can see how we added a bit of manual beach, because it's very bright red sand over here, with some volleyballs, beach volleyball, alongside another selection of high-rise apartments and hotels along the front here. And yeah, all of that is just low-density housing, pretty much, with a few added bits and pieces. Here you can see there's a 5-star park for people to hang out in. We also created a fairly sizable school district. It's sort of everything on the map here in view is related to the school. So there's a small school, a high school, a running track that I just manually drew in. Tennis courts, some parking, and then out the back here there's a library, a park, and a gym, and a pool, and the childcare centre. So all of that counts as this particularly well-developed school area. And how about we hop across the river again towards the farm industry. You can see where there's a hole where I've ripped out some nuclear power plants to replace it with this fusion power plant. Okay. And over here we have some quite regular sections of low density residents living, and they're all clustered around our 5-star farming industry. And I think it's interesting that when I first put these houses in, they were all tiny houses, and actually they've all upgraded to about level 3 or level 4, so it's quite weird to see how they've changed. They were all houses that were 1 cell wide. As you can see, they're still tiny in the sense that they don't take up much area, but now a lot of them are like 5 or 6 stories tall, and they look quite well developed, which wasn't the initial plan, to be honest. So yeah, some of them look more like this, and that's what they used to all be like at the start. These tiny houses that are only 1 floor, but many of them have upgraded, some all the way up to a 4 or even 5 level 5. So yeah, slightly unintended consequence of having really high land value everywhere. And we had this extra little suburb with another collection of school assets. Well, not really actually, this is more just about having a little central area. You can see there's a library, some plazas, a small school, a basketball court and a playground, and a cemetery as well. Here we've got another area where there's been a bit of an arson attack by the looks of it, but this is another school area with a few amenities and a nice fenced off section, which unfortunately a lot of the trees have burned down. And then over this way we have another park with a big lake in it, and that is our 5-star zoo. We have this feature of a raised walkway over the lake, and we have in our zoo some underwater attractions. You might be able to see some of those under there. Yeah. I was quite pleased with the way I set this one out, with a few raised walkways as well as extra viewing areas as well. You can see some of these walkways have been raised up so that you get an even better view of the giraffe enclosure, and here the elephant enclosure. And then over here you get a really good view of the lion enclosure from these raised walkways as well. And there's lots of really big trees in this park as well. Shall we go and check out the castle of Lord Chirpwick? So to reach that you have to scoot all the way up this long road. And actually I'm intrigued to see how many people are walking and driving along here. I thought I saw somebody walking for a second then, but it's not. They're just fire hydrants, I think. There you go. So here comes the mountainside road. All the way up this winding road, which we placed just at towards the end of Wednesday night's stream. And then as we come around, let's zoom this around from the bottom. And oh, it's turning to night time already. But you'll see all the rocks I've placed around this thing to create a bit of extra statement about the features of the top of this mountain. But yeah, I'm interested that this is getting quite a few people visiting, so that's good. Apparently the visitors in here, there are only 6. Oh, that's nice. At night time the fireworks are out. So let's look back towards the city. Unfortunately there's not much draw detail that far out, so maybe we'll have to zip our way over there to some of the other areas. We placed the 5-star ore industry down here with the rest of the required factories, which are all fairly large. You can see there's a house factory, lemonade, petroleum refinery, electronics factory, and the car factory is one of the biggest ones. Yeah. Okay. And then we had more low density residential here, which we haven't even filled everything in yet, but one of the last pieces I'll show is maybe the little area at the point of this land with a fairly nice statue commemorating agreements, I suppose. Be nice if the bit more shaking of hands going on in the world instead of shaking of fists. There we go. Oh, you can see we've got the fire spreading. That might be hinting towards might be coming later. What else have we not had a look at? Oh yeah, the amusement park. Didn't really have a close look here, so why don't we see what it gets up to at night. Yeah, the roller coaster is lit up nicely at the evenings. So is the Ferris wheel. And then lots of this area with rocks is quite dull, isn't it? I wonder if we could place any lights down here. Yeah, I'm not sure if we've got anything like that we can just place randomly. It's not going to be in any of these normal things, is it? No. So, what about in the assets under here? You can put street lamps. Yeah, there's just lots of these, but I wondered if there was anything. Okay. Okay. So, here's the drop ride. What is it called? Yeah, drop tower. Has some nice plazas out the front, and should we see them drop? There they go. So yeah, why don't we come to a normal time of day, and so I haven't really thought about what to do next other than just to lay out a couple of options that I've been thinking of, and one is we try another new map, maybe with a different goal in mind, because this particular version of the game we played allowed for some mods, but we had what I was claiming to be the hard mode turned on, which means that in the traffic manager the hard mode is turned on, which you can see there. Hard mode bigger traffic jams is turned on there. We also have hard turned on in the mods listings, and it's one of the standard settings in the game that you can have, where you make every single service building more expensive to place. So that was an interesting added challenge for this map, but I think we've shown that we can really still make a very good profit in Cities Skylines, especially when you utilize the airport's DLC, because I'm pretty sure that boosted our weekly income a lot. If I have a look at this one, oh, so now it's choosing to prove me wrong, but I think the weekly income is normally around 100,000 and expenses are around 50,000. So I find it strange that right now it's so low. Even despite that, I would say most of the time you get a good income from this airport DLC. How about we just open the budget screen and have a little look. Yeah, you can see the weekly budget is pretty well into the green. We're normally getting at least 100,000 a week. A lot of that has just been the boost from putting the land value up with the monument, but even then, even just the industries by themselves are providing us with over 100,000 a week. Even the university is making us money, so that's great to see. And the mass transit is normally a black hole for money, but it doesn't seem too bad because we're making, according to this screen, we're making 80,000 income from the airplanes. And it's hard to see there, but I think about 3,000 income from metros as well. So yeah, I think this has been a success. I can see we might have an issue with traffic all of a sudden. I think this particular
The Coast Guard is warning of a tsunami approaching the area.
Oh, wow.
Residents should avoid roads and waterfronts. A tsunami has struck the city.
We're getting a massive tsunami.
And waterfronts until the water
I'm going to activate all the shelters. Wow, I didn't even trigger this manually. I was thinking of bringing in a massive disaster of some kind, but we get to watch one happen naturally. I think this is going to slow the game down potentially as well, because of all the water physics being added. So you'll have to bear with the game whilst it deals with this massive wave rolling through. And yeah, I think we're gonna have to just sit and watch this one roll through. It's going to take a little while, I think. You can see that there's going to be a lot of boats that are overturned. How about this guy? Oh, he's just riding the top of the wave. No bother for him. So I'm glad we've got 5 million sitting in the bank, because this could cause an awful lot of damage to our city. So I think the tsunami is a good sign actually, because I was thinking of placing some natural and not so natural disasters in here anyway, just to maybe test the city to its limits. So we set all the citizens to go and hide, didn't we? Yeah. So what if we have a go with placing a few manual disasters, which I haven't done much before. So I just need to remember where the screen is for it. Yeah, it's in here, isn't it? So you can place a tornado. I think tornado is quite apt at the moment because it's been very windy where I'm living right now. So how about we have that come straight through here.
Meteorologists have issued a severe tornado warning for the area. Residents should seek shelter immediately if any is available.
I'm going to put forest fire in the forest. Oh, I think there already is one, but we'll just up that a bit.
The Forest Service has stated that there is a risk of an imminent forest fire in the area. Residents are advised to avoid forested areas.
And the golden...
A forest fire is raging in the area. Leave campsites and tree houses immediately.
This announcer is going to get very busy. So the... I can see there's fires cropping up all over the place. How about a massive meteor strike at the heart of one of our industrial areas, or maybe, yeah. Something like right in the heart of an industrial area. I wasn't thinking of just chucking one in to a whole load of residential areas, but I guess we could also just have it overlapping, something like that. So here I think would cause massive devastation. So I'm going to put one there.
Astrologists report that a devastating meteor will strike the city in the near future. Residents should seek shelter immediately if any is available.
So I wonder how the city's going to deal with, 4 disasters at once. I haven't seen the tornado land yet, but... I think I placed the tornado somewhere over here, didn't I? I've already lost count now where I put them all. Here's the tsunami. It's still very slowly making its way across the map.
A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
Not sure where the meteor is. Maybe the game is just struggling to hit us with everything at once. Well, there could possibly be
Astrologists
two.
report that a devastating meteor will strike the city in the near future. Residents should seek shelter immediately if any is available.
Well, we've been told that there's now 2 meteors coming, so maybe I should leave that. What else have we- I think we're going to really struggle with all of the citizens hiding in their shelters, aren't we? Because nobody's at work. We've got a forest fire raging atop the mountain here. I didn't see a tornado materialised unless it's come and gone already. Well, that's a bit disappointing. I've not seen any evidence of the manual disasters actually turning up yet, other than the forest fire, which was already going. So there's that. Maybe it will only let you have one disaster raging at a time. I'm not sure if that's true, but we'll have to see how that gets dealt with, because I think you can see there's fire trucks nearby. I can hear helicopters spinning as well. I guess while we've got the money, maybe we should place another disaster response unit.
A tornado has touched down in the area.
Oh.
Seek shelter immediately if any is available.
Here is a tornado. I'm going to place the disaster response unit just there.
A forest fire is raging in the area. Leave campsites and tree houses immediately.
Oh, this is going to be painful for the residents, I think. Oh, here we go. There should be a second one any minute in exactly the
Meteor
same
Strike
place.
has occurred. Avoid the impact site and head to shelter if any is available.
Oh, sorry for that. I think there's something dodgy going on with the with this view, the destruction view. So that was one. Oh, here comes the next one. Same spot. Extra devastation. Ooh.
A meteor strike has occurred. Avoid the impact site and head to shelter if any is available.
We've started losing
A tsunami has struck the city. Take
population
caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
How are we doing for essential services? Electricity, I think, is okay. If our fusion power plant gets taken out, then we're really screwed. So where is it at the moment? It's here, isn't it? Yeah, there it is. And then we have plenty of water at the moment, it seems. Let's take a look at the tsunami. It's making its way in. I think this is starting to dissipate as well, actually. It's already a lot smaller wave. And the tornado has just disappeared in the background. And oh yeah, over here the wave is still quite sizable. I guess it's not travelled too far inland yet. But it's about to engulf this industrial area. You can see all of the cargo trucks being taken away. Oof, not fun.
A forest fire is raging in the area. Leave campsites and tree houses immediately.
Well, the way the water behaves is kind of weird, isn't it, around these buildings? These poor souls trying to just do an honest day's work, and then they get flooded. Okay, but I'm hoping lots of the citizens made it to some nearby shelters. How are we doing over here? So our marina is now getting completely ripped apart. I wonder how far up the hill this tsunami is going to make it, because it gets quite hilly up here quite quickly.
The tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
So this top row of housing here might be safe, possibly, because I don't think the wave is going to be able to quite make it up that high, but I don't know, we'll see. Those ships in the background don't really care about this tsunami, do they? They're just hopping over the wave there. There they go. Yeah, you can see the wave has kind of made it to that row, and then it's already receding again. There's certainly been some damage done. Look, the water is now being held behind the flood barrier, which is not great. I've got all this water trapped now. It needs to escape. It needs to escape by coming back out of the flood barrier again. And then how are we doing here? Yeah, we've still got this part of the city yet to feel any of the brunt of this tsunami. So the harbour is going to get destroyed, pretty sure. Oh no, look, quickly. Get out of the metro, you're all going to drown in there. Oh no, there's people running for their lives. Quick! Oh, I saw some cyclists as well down here, look, trying to escape. Oh, and the people in the harbour are just getting swept away. Cars popping up out of the water. There are still people driving towards this thing. Can't you see what's coming? Wow. Maybe they saw Armageddon was coming and they were just like, yep, this is my time. I'd rather meet it head on. Wow. So, I think this could make it, I don't know, a fair way up the beach here, but it's not going to get very far either, I don't think, because it goes uphill fairly quickly.
A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid
we can
roads
see
and
some of our
waterfronts
industry.
until the water recedes.
Some of the industry is getting flooded here. Also, I want to check, is my water pumping station still working? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Pumping service is on. Disaster response unit is working. Yeah, we've got... I think we're going to have to fix the highway, maybe. Because that's going to cause some issues, isn't it, if I don't fix that. So, how about we start to fix a few things. So maybe I'll just allow for this to have a highway put back. We'll smooth out what's going on over here. There we go. And then I'm pretty sure this needs to be, what's it going to be? Yeah, 4 lanes coming into there because we had quite a busy section here, didn't we? Bring that into there. And maybe even there. And then this section will be 3 lanes, so that we can then bring that into there. And then going in this direction, we'll just have that go straight up to there. And maybe we should repair a couple of these. There we go. And now I think at least this section can be used again. So I don't want to do too much more.
A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
Maybe I will just add that back in again. So then at least we have a few repaired roads. Okay. Maybe I'll even repair those as well. Let's check out how is the tsunami doing. Yeah, it's come in a fair way. But it looks like it's receding already. Looks like it's made its way all the way up to here somewhere. Oh, and it's still coming up actually here. Oof. Our poor city. Ah, look at the nightlife on the waterfront. That's completely destroyed. And it's already receding now from this area. What about this side of the map? Yeah, we've just got a little bit of flooded highway. So I think the majority of the city was actually quite safe. Yeah, we've got a fair bit of devastation going on here actually. Yeah, a lot of this area is low-lying land, isn't it? Look at all of this. Yeah, this has been quite devastating actually. Massive areas of houses that have just been flattened, unfortunately. Yeah. I wonder how is the population looking now?
A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
I think we've lost about 40,000 odd people. So we don't have enough shelters, that's for sure. And also, I don't think I can let them out of their shelters yet, because we still have a tsunami coming through. How are we doing with the forest fire? That seems to have been dealt with. I'm wondering if I've just now completely broken my city because there's lots of There's lots of signs here that we just don't have enough customers to keep shops open because the people are all hiding away in their shelters. We've got, yeah, lots of people are still coming to the amusement park actually, even though we told them to go and shelter. So if I just put this view on again, here we can see, yeah, this is all completely flattened. And I think it's going to be a long time before this all recovers. But that wasn't really the plan of this stream, was to just wait for cities to recover again. I thought I would just chuck a few disasters down because we did so well to avoid most of them that it felt like I should make the city pay a little bit more and try and deal with a few at once, which I think we've managed to show. You can see, how's the harbour doing here? Oh yeah, look at this harbour and marina section. That's all being completely gutted out, completely destroyed. The shipyard's gone, unfortunately. What else happened? Oh yeah,
A
look at...
tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and
these are
waterfronts
all
until the water
warehouses.
recedes.
But yeah, we've got lots of warehouses that have just collapsed. And yeah, we've got a real situation to deal with. Oh yeah, look, we've had a wave make its way through some of the low-lying areas. And it's still hanging around as well. Looks like this is going to stay underwater, I think. Until the water just gets taken away or evaporated. Apparently there's a problem with crime at the university. I guess that makes sense. End of the world and crime goes up. And we are now losing quite a lot of money as well. So I wonder if it's time to take the people out of their shelters. That might be, you know. Though I think a lot of them are not going to have houses to come back to. Let's see, how is pollution? Yeah, pollution's pretty good. Water, we've got tons of water. Tons of power. People are still happy. They're 90% happy residents. I don't know how we've managed that, considering we've almost destroyed the whole city. I think before I run out of money, I'm going to place down another disaster response unit just over here somewhere.
A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
I'm going to put it there so that it's fairly close to this side of the city. So we've got one there near the centre, another one over there, Oh, and another there. And I think these cost quite a lot per week to run, don't they? Oh, only 800 a week to run, so not as quite as bad as I thought. First off, so I reckon we could stick another one of these pretty easily in there. That's out of the way. And maybe add one down here as well somewhere. Maybe even put one in there. That can help serve this whole area. But then over here we don't have that much going on. Except a few sections that would be handy, I think, if we try to put something in here, maybe. Yeah, I think I'll put it in there, like that, opposite the fusion power plant. And out they go, responding to their disasters. All the helicopters and all the vans are jumping out immediately.
A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
We've still got the announcer talking about tsunami. Oh yeah, there's still a fair amount of water hanging around. So, what's the damage looking like then on the roads? Do we need to worry about the roads, or is it just buildings? Don't see many roads being affected over here, which is a good sign. Oh, we have need for some water here. Good. And actually, you know what? I'm going to connect that up with this one as well. So automatically the disaster response units will slowly start to evacuate any survivors from the wreckages of all these buildings, and when that happens the building will change from collapsed, I think, is it to abandoned or something, and then it will regrow as and when there is demand to fill it. But whilst they all say collapsed, I think the idea is that they're not going to be allowed, people are not going to be allowed in. So like this one, for example, is now ready for building. Yeah. Some of these we have to click rebuild manually, like these. And this costs a lot of money as well. Rebuilding everything that is service related, I think, costs quite a bit of money, so we may well have destroyed the city with the amount of damage we've done. But I'm pretty hopeful that I'm going to be able to get people out of their shelters now. So if I do that now, let's set people to leave. It's going to slow the game down for a second whilst all the people make their way out into the real world again.
A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
think, is it these green? Yeah, oh actually, yeah, this view helps, doesn't it? So the green ones are ones that have been cleared of survivors and the wreckage has been, I guess, sorted through and is ready to be rebuilt on, but all the red ones still need to be checked out. So there's a lot of work still to be done. Some have to be rebuilt manually. How about down here? Oh yeah, the elementary school is okay to be rebuilt. So is this car park and this car park. Okay. So might just leave it here for this particular stream. I can see like doing all of this is just going to be lots of clicking and rebuilding, and we don't want to sit and watch that, do we? So maybe we could just decide what we're going to do next time, whilst we maybe just put this on. I'm going to leave that on that particular view and have a little look at the Steam workshop and maybe decide on the next game that we could look at, or maybe if people are interested we could start another map on Cities Skylines. So I should say that I have started releasing these VODs on my YouTube site, and you should see a link to the YouTube site for all of the VODs since the start of this map are now available that you can catch up on. If you do want to watch right from the beginning to see how we started this map to get it where it is now, you'll find the link on my Twitch page, and that'll take you to the YouTube area. And yeah, I think what I'll probably end up doing for the rest of this evening is heading out to catch some R&R out of the town maybe. But yeah, I think that's going to be it this evening. I'll have a little think about what we do next time, and maybe if I get an influx of people over the next few days that actually watch and engage with the YouTube videos and are really keen to see another Cities Skylines map, then drop some comments on the YouTube channel as to whether you'd like to see more from Cities Skylines or maybe something else. I'm thinking of trying some new games that I've not touched before that are story related games. So let me just actually open my Steam workshop and yeah, obviously I won't show that here, but let's keep the cinematic camera on for you guys. But whilst that's on, I'm gonna just have a scroll through what I've got on my list. So games that I've not touched at all, but I picked them up when they were cheap during Black Friday last year are things like Cyberpunk 2077, which I've heard a lot about but I've not played at all. Death Stranding, I've not played at all. Detroit Become Human, which I really want to get into, and I think that could be a good one because that's a relatively short game, I've heard. It's one of those decision-based games.
A tsunami has struck the city.
There's a few other
Take
sandbox
caution and avoid roads
games
and waterfronts
as well,
until the water recedes.
like Fallout 76 and Red Dead Redemption 2. I've also got a few Star Wars games that I've not tried but I want to have a go at, so Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I've got Shadow of the Tomb Raider to try out. Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Hitman 2. And that's about it really. It's quite a list there. So if anyone is interested in seeing any of those, please go to the YouTube channel, maybe comment under the video that's being released today. It should be out now. So the video that was released today is, let me check. Yeah, today's release on YouTube was VOD number 17, the first VOD where we started to add airports with the connected transport hub, and that was from the VOD from the 8th of December, but I've only just got round to uploading it today. So yeah, if you would like to have a say in what I end up doing next, please go there and have a look. But maybe I'll add as well as a poll on YouTube, because that's another way of getting this out there, isn't it? I could set that up. I'm all fairly new to this. If you go to the YouTube channel, you'll see the VODs don't have much in the way of a decent editing just yet. I just decided to take all the recordings and put them up on YouTube as they are, so there's lots of content there. But if people are really intrigued to see how we got the city to this state, you can see all of that now. So I think with that I will leave it there for this evening. Thank you to any of who have seen all of the videos to this point on YouTube and enjoyed watching how we develop this map. But yeah, that is going to be it for this Cities Skylines playthrough for a while. I think we're going to have a change of pace and possibly try maybe a sandbox game like maybe Red Dead Redemption or Cyberpunk, or maybe a story-based game like Mass Effect or Detroit Become Human maybe as well. I think that one might be a good one to try next. So thank you for sticking around, and I will see you guys next time. I might change the day of broadcast as well, so watch out for the next time we go online. I will set up possibly a new schedule. Thanks guys, good night.